Good evening. Jesus was imprisoned during the night. In the next few hours, his trials would take place. Probably, if you combine the events from the different Gospels, and with recognition that it is not all so clear, Jesus appeared 3 times before the Jewish council and 3 times before the Roman leaders. The stories of the 2 courts in which he appeared are divided into 2 questions in particular. Before the Jewish council, Jesus is challenged with the question, "Are you the Christ, the Son of God?" He answered, "It is as you say." 26 verse 63. Before the Roman authorities, the question is, "Are you the King of the Jews?" Jesus responded similarly, "It is as you say." Between these descriptions, 2 moving stories are told about 2 disciples of the Lord, Peter and Judas. And we will dwell on this during the first 2 evening devotions this week. Peter, called to a halt by a rooster. While things in the trial inside the house are coming to a point where there is an acknowledgement, or in this case a conviction, that Jesus is the Christ, the Son of God, a contrasting story takes place in the courtyard where Peter denied Jesus Christ, the Son of God. How ironic. Peter, who formerly confessed, "You are the Christ, the Son of the living God," is now distancing himself from the Lord. We read Matthew 26, verse 69 to 75. Now Peter was sitting out in the courtyard, and a servant girl came to him. "You also were with Jesus of Galilee," she said. But he denied it before them all. "I don't know what you are talking about," he said. Then he went out to the gateway, where another girl saw him and said to the people, "This fellow was with Jesus of Nazareth." He denied it again, with an oath, "I don't know the man." And after a little while, those standing there went up to Peter and said, "Surely you are one of them, for your accent gives you away." Then he began to call down curses on himself, and he swore to them, "I don't know the man." Immediately the rooster crowed. Then Peter remembered the words Jesus had spoken, "Before the rooster crows, you will disown me 3 times." And he went outside and wept bitterly. Notice the movement away from the Lord. With the first confrontation, Peter is in the courtyard. With the second, he is at the exit of the courtyard. And the third confrontation causes him to go outside and weep bitterly. Also notice the spiritual moving away from the Lord. There is first the vague denial that he was with Jesus. Then he swears with an oath that he did not know Jesus. And he began to call down a curse on himself and swore to them, "I don't know the man." You see, it's one thing to confess who Jesus is, but it is a different thing if your confession threatens your life. How is it possible that Peter could have done this? We ask today. Is it not? And it is not that it just happened in a short time. Luke recounts that there were about an hour between the second and the third denial. But if we ask that, then we should probably also be able to ask why you and I still follow the Lord at a safe distance today. Close enough that I consider myself a professing follower, but far enough that other people do not really notice it. Then we must also be able to honestly ask why we keep quiet so easily when we have to testify that Jesus is the Christ, the Son of God. Actually, the question is not how people was able to do it. It's easy. Even we succeed in that. The question is rather about the grace that prevents Peter from walking away completely. The grace of the story comes in the form of a rooster crowing. A rooster crowing in its usual place and usual time. The first time after the first denial, and then again after the third. The crow cuts through the being of Peter because it brings him to a halt through the warning word of the Lord. Before the rooster crows a second time, you will deny me 3 times. Peter is called back from running away. The man has just been convicted because he is who he is, Jesus, the Christ, the Son of God. And he is the one who calls back a denying sinner, even if he has to use a rooster. When was the last time you heard a rooster crow? Good night.